let's start with a negative. It's a shame that they downgraded from the 1250.
Why, BMW?
And I'm talking things that really disgust me. I mean, like, disgust me. What's up, guys? Welcome back to my channel. Today we are doing my 15,000 kilometer review of my BMW R 1300 GS. This is the 2024 model, brand new when I got it. I received this bike in May 2024. Since then I've been riding it quite a bit. Those of you who are on my channel will know I've been to Finland.
No one is here. I fell over. Oh, that's loose. That is loose. Where there's one, there's more. Oh, f***ing hell. And if you're gonna write in the comments what a nut job, go for it. Because I am. Oh, sometimes I get a good feeling.
First off, I want to actually start with what I have on this bike. My regular viewers will know I have every single package available to me. It's obviously the trophy version, and then I have the enduro kit, the technology kit, the comfort kit, the touring kit. I have every kit on this bike except for the option 719, not worth it, and the Ergonomics exhaust, which for €1,000 it really isn't worth it. I don't think it changes that much. It doesn't make a significant difference. I think the stock exhaust sounds quite nice. The only problem with the stock exhaust is maybe it's a bit heavy. So that's my bike. It basically has everything on it. First off, let's start with a negative, and something that probably a lot of you are thinking about this bike. It's heavy. It's a heavy bike. From the factory they claim 237 kilos. That's not including crash bars. That's not including any luggage mount. I think that's not even including the original luggage mounts with the electrical connections. I think it's not even including that. That's the bare bike. And also that's not including the center stand. So already when you put your crash bars on, you know, the bike already starts to weigh more. This is probably in the region of 245 kilos, if not more. It could be, I don't know, I haven't weighed it. I have no illusions, it's a heavy bike. What do I like about the bike? Well, I love the power delivery. I think it's astonishing how much torque, how much actual horsepower there is. There's bikes that have more horsepower. There is the KTM 1290 Adventure R, more horsepower. I think the torque figure though is less. That makes a real difference. Torque is something that really makes a difference in your ride.
And not just power, the torque. The torque is wild. Like, that wasn't even full twisting the throttle, man. I'm still scared. Like, it's wild how much power this bike has.
I love the power delivery of this bike. It's super linear, like really easy to get a grasp of how that power is going to come on when you roll that throttle. I have the adaptable suspension. So in Road and Dynamic Pro, when you come lower than 30 kilometers an hour, the suspension will lower down, which just makes it so much more accessible for more riders. I think a 5'5" rider could easily ride this bike and handle it as well. So I love the technology on this bike. A lot of people are stressing out about the technology, like, you know, if something goes wrong you can't fix it on the trail. That is true. It is very true. But also, technology on motorcycles is only going to get better. I think none of the systems on this bike impede me. All of them help me. they all make for a better, enjoyable ride. The dynamic traction control in Enduro Pro is one of the best I have ever tried. It allows for great slippage, really good slippage, so you can actually drift a turn on gravel, but it won't let you step it out too far. So you hold that turn perfectly and then just skate off into the distance. Now it can get a little bit interfery if you're doing a hill climb on a loose surface.
Oh geez, this is steep. Okay baby, let's go.
Other than that, perfect. I can't fault it. There's a lot of people that tell me, oh, aren't you worried about, having too much technology on your motorbike and it takes away from the ride? No, not at all. It improves my ride tenfold. Imagine if we stopped developing the internet at dial-up. I don't know, you viewers, I think the majority of my viewers are over 30, so you'll definitely know what dial-up is. I remember dial-up internet. You remember that? Imagine if we stopped there. We just said, yeah, internet's good, that's fine. My younger viewers, you can't even imagine what dial-up was like. It used to take us days to download one video.
Back in the good old days.
It's ridiculous. Anyway, I digress. That's what I think technology on a motorbike is. If we stop and don't put any technology into a motorbike, we're stopping at dial-up, guys. And that's useless. Something else I really love about this bike, while it is so heavy, this is one of, if not the, easiest bike to lift off the ground, because it does not fall very far. It goes and you just pick it back up.
Oh Jesus, there it goes. Oh man. So on this bike I actually find it easier to grab onto this and the handlebar full lock this way, and then just to lift it like that. Like I find that maybe 5 times easier.
I have found this bike to be one of the easiest to pick up. So something else that was really thought through, like a proper thought process, was this brake lever. Now this is with the Enduro Pro package.
So this is the brake lever, very cool design, very simple. Pull it out, flick it up. That's now off-road mode. So the brake is sitting higher than normal, and here it is back in normal position.
So moving on to some of my dislikes about this bike, and I do have dislikes, and it's unfortunate. So while I was talking about this brake lever is great, these foot pegs, the Enduro foot pegs, I find there's something about them that with my riding boots, I'm standing with my legs slightly bowed back into the foot pegs, as opposed to being standing on the foot pegs with my feet hugging the bike. I find it's like, it feels like I'm doing it like that. I don't know if you can understand what I'm saying. As opposed to being on the bike like this, it feels like I'm like that. So I could say that it would be nice if the foot peg was a little bit longer for me personally. That's something that on long trips, on my Finland journey, I really noticed the fatigue I got in my feet from standing up on these foot pegs, which I wasn't expecting on a BMW. I've ridden the 1250 for a good 500 kilometers in one day, and I never felt the fatigue that I did on this initially. Now, that's an easy change. Now, obviously this bike is compared to its predecessor, which is the 1250. An amazing bike, the 1250. This is better. I'll say no more. But what the 1250 was better for is this seat. This seat on this bike is not as comfortable. Now, my rear end has gotten used to this seat, but again, that's something that I shouldn't have to on a €26,000 bike. I shouldn't have to get used to this seat. This seat should be perfect. But for some reason, they've put a little bit more of an angle on the seat. It's not as thick foam. It's just not quite as comfy as the comfort seat on the R1250 GS, which makes longer distances trips, means you've got to stop a bit more often. You know, it's not as comfortable on the rear end. Not a massive issue, but it is an issue, and I think it's a shame. It's a shame that they downgraded from the 1250. So, coming on to one of the most hated things about a BMW GS, and it is across the range. It's not just this one, it is across the entire range of GS's. Some of you will know this.
What I want to know is why, oh why, have they not bloody backlit the switchgear yet? Why, BMW? Why? It would be the easiest, most simple thing to do. The switchgear already has the little clear plastic bits in it. They've got the clear spots. All you would need is a little LED put in the base of the switchgear. It'll probably cost BMW 20 cents to put it in on both ends. Why? Why is it not backlit? That pisses me off something severe. When you're riding in the dark, having backlit switchgear is just a little bit. This is a premium motorcycle. Why don't I have that very simple thing added to the bike? Why, BMW? Why? Something else that I would like to show. The build quality. Now, nothing has fallen apart yet. It's all perfect. But there were some things that I thought, why is it done like that? For example, this is my rear vision mirror. If you have a look just down here, look at those cables. Why are they not covered properly? One other thing I wasn't too sure about when I first bought the bike. You can see, I don't know if this is normal on other bikes, see the engine seal? It's like the gasket just here. It's like they've just sprayed on as much gasket as they could, mushed the bike together. It was a little bit concerning. I don't know why they've done it like that. Anyway, that's literally the only problem I have with quality. This bike, if I had the choice, would I buy it again? Yes. This bike has far exceeded my expectations of how good a GS can be. It is phenomenal off-road. The only thing letting this bike down is me. My skill level is letting this bike down and not unleashing its full potential. So I just need to get better. There's a lot of hysteria about this bike not being an off-road bike. It's not the best off-road bike. Of course, look at it. No adventure bike is the best off-road bike. The best off-road bike is a CRF 450 or a Yamaha 250 Enduro. You know, they are the best off-road bikes. But do you really want to be sitting on a road going 80 kilometers an hour, ringing your bloody ears out, or vibrating because the bike's pinging off its head? 80 kilometers an hour, maybe not. 110, 120, absolutely that bike is going to rattle your brain. The reason we like adventure bikes is because we can go and do this sort of trails. We can do slightly more hardcore trails, and those of us who are gifted in the motorbike riding skills can absolutely wring the neck of these bikes. But the reason we buy these bikes is for the journey home. The journey after the adventure. That's the reason we buy these bikes.
the adventure, you have an absolute blast on these massive beasts, or at least I do. I absolutely love this bike, but the journey home is so much more comfortable. Anyway guys, that's all I have for you today. I hope you enjoyed this video. Give us a big thumbs up if you did. Make sure to subscribe down below, and I'll see you in the next one.